Hello everyone and welcome back to the MST Group 4. This is the final match, Leta versus FireFist. Actually, it's a rematch from the first matchup, which was Leta versus FireFist, and FireFist won that match, kind of surprisingly, but then got beat out by Best, as we saw earlier, and Best moved on. So this is a second chance. You know, that's the thing about the MSL. You get that second chance, and 2 players do advance from each group, so out of 4 players. So here we go. It's going to be on the map Heartbreak Ridge.
That's right. Of course, in the first game, we really felt that Leta just kind of failed at his build, just didn't do the best job as far as preparing himself for what FireFist did, which was a very, very good Mutalisk harass, where he killed quite a few of the SCVs, was poor turret placement in Leta's base. So we're in a different map here. We are in Heartbreak Ridge. With Heartbreak Ridge, you can pretty much assume, obviously, a Mutalisk harass coming because the main is surrounded on all sides except for one by walls. So in this case, I'm assuming Leta's going to be a little bit better prepared, be able to put some turrets up kind of around the perimeter of his base or in whatever locations he feels is best. So that's good. It's also tough to do any sort of rush build on this map, so I don't expect to see anything like that from FireFist. So hopefully we'll see a better played game by Leta on this. Again, I'm rooting for Leta, but I mean, FireFist, you know, he was able to beat Leta the first game, and he did play strong, at least in the early game, against Best. So, you know, it's not like, I would say he's certainly improving. He's not, you know, got up to B or A level yet, but he's certainly improving. So, you know, we'll see kind of what happens here. We do see Best getting the Leta getting the early scout out with his SCV. Not a bad idea. It's going to meet the drone. They are going to say hello to each other. And no, they're going to attack each other brutally, worker on worker action. And I actually don't know who is going to win this fight. Look at that. Leta making the drone run away so it can gain some more health to come back and kill it. All right, and Leta doing the same thing here. He is going to lose that SCV unless he runs away. So a failed attempt. Good job by FireFist. Good micro in keeping the drone, and this way he's going to actually be able to build. I think he's brought back all these drones down, so that way he can ward away the SCV so that he can actually build the hatchery in the correct position, because Leta is going to try to build something, but nope, he is out of there. He does not regenerate health. So good job by FireFist. Good opening in getting the second hatchery down. Kind of a failed harassment attempt, maybe staving it off for, you know, 20 seconds or so.
And it looks like we see Leta is going to probably wall off his small little choke point there with his supply depot and maybe the barracks. And he was also getting his gas very early, so definitely going to get a factory up. And it looks like now FireFist is also taking his gas. A lot of times we see, actually on this map, I usually see one of 2 things from Zerg. Either they do a 2-hatch. Oh, and it looks like a little dance here. Might be able to pick out the SCV, but Leta wins a dance. Will he escape though? Oh, one more hit. Nope. Does not escape. And so that's actually kind of sucks because you don't want to lose your scouting information that fast. There's the first Marine being produced. You saw FireFist Overlord scout that and then back off, and there's the factory. So there's the wall in with the barracks and factory. You know, not that it matters on this map, but this reminds me of that epic game where Fantasy lost and he walled off on, it was like Byzantium or Return of the King, and he walled up on the top of his choke with that factory, and then it failed because his vultures were coming out front. I think it was versus Jadong, and Jadong's Laser just owning the vultures, if you remember that. That was an awesome game. I think we actually casted that. If you want to go back and watch it, might have been with
we did, because I remember we were saying that had the factories not spawned the vultures on that side, he could have won the game.
And we do see Lair going up here before the third hatchery. So like I said, maybe some 2-hatch mutas or something going on. I don't think I actually finished my statement, but what I was going to say is what I usually see on this map is either 2-hatch mutas, or the Zerg gets a quick third hatchery and gets 4 or 5 hatcheries before they move out at all, and just do this powerful push about mid-game where they have a ton of units and they have a bunch of hatcheries and just build a solid defense. And it looks like actually one starport and maybe a second starport going up. You can see their SCV there. So this is what you were talking about the first game.
Dual
starports,
two-port
and this could be actually a really good counter to 2-hatch mutas. It looks like FireFist just getting the standard Sunka, but Leta had his SCV in there and scouted everything out. and he is going for 2 starports. So yeah, might not even need to make the turrets this time because he actually does have 2 starports, and he's going to have a lot of wraiths.
Well, and what I was going to say, and which is kind of invalid now, but usually you see an SK Terran builds on this map from Terran against Zerg because it makes it more difficult for Zerg to be able to hold the top and bottom expansion. So when they expand out to try to get 5 bases, they have to expand to the top or bottom, which are very difficult to hold on to. And but we're not even a thought here. We're going to see immediately producing wraiths out of those starports. And Leta, I mean, this is pretty kind of all in here, you know, in a lot of ways. Although certainly it's not like, and he's checking here. It looks like he's going to actually mine out the mineral. Now, I don't know if he's just going to try to do that to rush in with maybe some Vulture. Oh, no, he's tricking the Vulture through. I'm sorry. Leta's trying to trick the Vulture through that hidden mineral in the back there. And FireFist not paying attention to the back, and he is going to get it through. And this can cause some mayhem. Oh, but FireFist does know about it. That is a very good maneuver. He's going to be able to trap the Vulture, I think. Yeah. So, wow, that was a great, I don't even know, he didn't even have an Overlord there, did he?
He didn't see it. It's just one of those things where these players play the map so much that they do those types of things. And here's the thing, I do think these 2 poor wraiths are going to be really strong because of the cloaking. Now, he is going to get ticked off, or tipped off by that wraith, seeing that wraith kill the Overlord. But at this point, it's too late. Mutas are already on the way, so it's really going to come down to micro. If he can micro those mutas against the wraith, but once the wraith get cloaking, it's going to be really tough because usually a Zerg player is not going to have Overlord speed by this point unless they've already planned to do it. So he's not going to have Overlord speed. We're going to see actually another Overlord probably go down here, so that's going to hurt the supply count a little bit, but man, we're going to have to see some good mutalist micro on these wraiths, and he's, unfortunately, FireFist is going to be really stuck in his base because all of his Overlords are going to be in his base. You can see there's maybe 1 or 2 out in the field, I think 1 out in the field, but he's not going to have any spotting to kill those cloaked wraiths. So basically, the whole point of the Muta Harass is to kill those, you know, SCVs, get the SCV count down and keep Terran in his base, but he's not going to be able to do that because he's going to be stuck in his own base because of the cloaked wraith.
Right. Well, unlike the first game that that FireFist played against Leta, there is no hidden Overlord. There's nothing to come in on the last minute. Although he might be able to try, he's not going to be successful with this, but he was going to try to pick off some of the wraiths before they get Cloak. But a Cloak is going to be coming any time here. I'm guessing Cloak will probably pull through about when these wraiths get to FireFist base, because Leta's timing is just so that good. And we do see the Hydralisk Den going up because obviously that's, you know, one of the ways he can try to defend against these wraiths. But to be honest, these slow Overlords, I mean, that is the advantage this build has. Look at that. Boom. 1 Mutalist down. Overlord speed, I think, is up, though. I think, yeah. So I guess FireFist took the dive and just went for that Overlord speed, which is a really, really smart move here. So he is going to have a chance. The trouble with this, though, and this is the plan of this kind of build, is that FireFist cannot do any harassing. And that is the biggest thing, is that at this point he's able to leave Leta to himself. Leta's going to be able to take that natural expansion right there fairly easily, and just constantly building about 8 wraiths there, and he should be repairing that 1 wraith that's damaged. Doesn't look like he's doing it quite yet.
Well, the critical thing will be to see how Leta follows this up, and it looks like he is getting another barracks, but that's actually the disadvantage of this build for Leta, is that it doesn't have a strong follow-up, because wraiths are so weak that unless you just kill off the Zerg, like, say if the Zerg was totally unprepared, had no Overlords, Leta just picked off all the Overlords, picked off drones, whatever, he could have won the game right there, but since that didn't happen, FireFist was pretty on the ball, like you said. I guess he actually had Overlord speed. I didn't notice that, but if he's got Overlord speed, there's not a lot that he can do, and now that Hydras are out, his base is going to be well defended by Hydras. So Leta hasn't really accomplished anything except that, like you said, he's warded off the harassment, and that's usually kind of what the Terran does with these mech builds early on, is they either build a Vulture or they build a Wraith. Basically, it's to be the aggressor in the beginning, but now that he's already the aggressor, he's got to do something to switch it up. You can't just continue building Wraiths and expect to win against Hydras. It's not going to work, so we're definitely going to have to see some Medic Marine or some tanks, and it looks like he was going for the Mega Marines. Oh, Wraiths might get caught a little bit, but this is what I'm saying. Other than harassment, what can he really do? Not much. It looks like there's the Academy, so he is switching back to Medic Marine. He does have a solid wall, and he's got to build a bunker, but will it be in time? I don't know. This is a pretty strong force from FireFist coming up. He's got the Overlords to protect, and he can see those, or yeah, to spot, not protect, but to spot those cloaked Wraiths, so he's going to be right at his door. Those turrets are going to help fend off the Mutas, though, but these Hydras are really has to worry about. I think if FireFist just keeps rallying Hydras, this can going to be pretty effective. Wraiths are dodging in and out, you can see there, of the range, and the Mutalisks had to come in, but they're getting hit by turrets. But I kind of think if FireFist just focuses turrets, I don't know, it's going to be a close, certainly a good contain by FireFist.
This is a very, very close match. FireFist, you're right, doing a really good job. What I was going to say, what he could do right now is he can, I was thinking he was going to save up some of the Hydralisks and go in and drop. Because he can certainly do that. He can upgrade the drop on the Overlords right now, and he's going to be building enough units where that could be an effective strategy. But he doesn't even need to at this point. Hydralisk range is up now, and he's able to range the Wallen. Wallen is gone, and that was the barracks that was gone there. Okay, there is another barracks back there. I forgot he had made that, and he does have the second one going up. But this is really tough because he's about to lose that factory, and he's not repairing it. He has all these idle SCVs sitting around. They're not mining. They're waiting to try to repair, although they're not. Now he's finally trying to repair that factory as it goes off. Man, FireFist,
I'm sorry,
just
but
countering Leta hardcore here.
I hate, we've been calling